At first, I found myself extremely numb to everything that had happened to me over the course of 5 years. It took me about 2 or 3 months before I actually managed to completely analyze it all inside my brain and be able to manifest the feelings and work out how I actually felt about everything that had happened to me. 5 years of being subjected to gaslighting, a form of abuse, was I kind of was in shock, even though I knew it happened to me and I was quite aware of everything that I had been through. My body and myself inside was in a state of shock. Once I managed to get my head around all of this, I had spent a good couple of weeks at night releasing this negative energy that I had inside me. I releasing all the hurt and all the pain through crying. I found myself just needing to get it out on a big scale, where I would almost be not being able to breathe, crying that in-depthly. And I found this was the best way for myself, and I would suggest to others it is the best way for you to get this out, is to not turn this into an angry feeling. It is very easy to turn this hurt and this pain that's building up inside you that you've had for so long, to turn it almost into an anger and a hatred. But no, what you need to do is just get it out of your system, and that is probably the only way you're ever gonna get it truly out of your system, is through crying. And it will take a long time before you can actually get to that point, but it does happen eventually. The more you think about it, the more you're open about it. And anybody that tries to stop you from being open about what you've been through, and anybody that tells you that you shouldn't be crying about it, you should be happy, you're free now, that's no. You need to cry. You need to let that sorrow, that sadness that has been inside you for all that time that you have been in that relationship, you have been sad, you have been put down, and you have been made to something that you're not, and you need to let that sadness out. Being on your own for the first steps of getting over a abusive relationship is really scary. You find yourself not quite knowing where you are and what you're doing, and you almost revert back to how you would have to behave in an abusive relationship, because you haven't quite come to terms with everything. And it is very, very scary. As you set foot, it's almost like you are leaving home again from your parents, and you don't know what's going to happen. And no matter what, this is normal. You are allowed to feel scared. You are allowed to feel like everything's a bit too much. That's okay. It is scary. You just got to remember that you have overcome a lot, and now where you're setting foot into a new life, and your world is completely changed. Things are scary. It's all new again. Everything being on your own is new, and therefore it is scary, because you've forgotten what it's like because of how you've been mind manipulated and brainwashed into a particular way of thinking and a particular way of behaving. Of course, then when you do not have this anymore, this structure that has been making you and bending you towards somebody's will and want, when you have that no longer and you are completely free, it is very, very scary, and you are allowed to feel that fear. Found myself really happy, a different level of happiness, because it wasn't being happy because that person had told me I'm going to be happy. I was happy because I had told me I'm happy, and I feel happy from it. And this is something that takes a while to get your head around, and you almost don't realize you're doing it, and then all of a sudden, bam, oh my god, I'm happy. And it's a different level of happiness. It's something that not a lot of people can get their heads around when they see somebody that's overcome so much, and they're like, how are they so happy? And it's self-happiness. You become happy with yourself, and you do things to make yourself happy, and you learn things that makes yourself happy, and through that you're constantly happy no matter what. There is a lot of love that you have inside of you, and this is how you've ended up being subject to such a bad traumatic relationship, is because you have given all of your love and you have been accepting of the person's bad faults, and almost to a fault you've let them behave in this way towards you, and you've just done it out of love because you love them. But you need to now stop. Okay, you don't need to be loving anybody else but yourself, and you need to remind yourself exactly how amazing you are, and you are not being egotistic for being in love with yourself. You are not being big-headed. Yeah, you are just simply acknowledging the person that you are, and this is normal. You should be able to love yourself before loving anybody else, children aside, obviously, because that's unconditional high rate love that only a mother can describe or a father can describe, but that's a different form of love. I'm talking about love within yourself. You can't actually truly love or be ready for love unless you completely are in adorance with your own self and completely love all the good and bad points of yourself. As you become more aware of what you, and trusting yourself, and more aware of what you are truly believing and what you have truly said, listening to your own intuition and listening to your gut is the biggest and best thing. Don't listen to anybody else. You just follow your own initial instinct with everything, and you need to believe in yourself, and this is all part of self-loving too. This is all part of making yourself back to the person that you were before, and you are also become a more stronger person at the same time. There is a lot that you have to set aside when it comes to other people and their opinions and what they want you to do, and you have to just initially just go on what you think and what you feel, and through doing this you will find a better person, and you'll be very, very happy, and you'll be like, oh hello, I've forgotten who you were, I haven't seen you in a long time, and that's you meeting your inner self again. And it's like, oh hello, oh yes, you've always been right, where have you been all this time? And then you make friends with your inner self again, and then you are best friends again with you and your inner self, which brings you to a higher state of mind. Last and foremost is realizing how beautiful you are. Now, this does not matter on your size, it does not matter on your skin type, it does not matter on your colouring, because this is not what we see in visual form. This is what we see inside. The person that is inside, that girl, that man that has been crumbled, is now starting to grow and is starting to use their fire again, and that little tiny flame that you thought was once put out is starting to burn bright, and your light is starting to shine. Now all of these things that you've had to take on and everything that you've had to overcome, it all boils down to the most amazing thing: yourself. And once you realize how much of a beautiful, amazing human you are, you can then embrace everything that you have overcome, the strength that you have got, and you end up flying out of the ashes like a phoenix. I call it the year of the phoenix because you do literally just grow bigger and better than ever before. So beautiful, with all these colours that you've had to, gain from this terrible time, and through the darkness your light glows brighter, and you are like a technicolor rainbow just going boom. And this is literally what it's all about, just finding yourself and embracing how amazing you are. And once you truly believe that, you are really underway to the best thing ever.